There is a mysterious element in the universe, hidden from the hurried and unseen by the doubtful. Yet it holds the key to wealth beyond imagining. This is the secret salt, spiritual seasoning, that transforms the tasteless bread of lack into the banquet of abundance. Salt is not loud, yet it flavors all. Money is not loud, yet it supports all. When you understand the secret connection, you will no longer chase gold. You will attract it as naturally as the ocean calls the river. Salt, in ancient times, was more precious than silver. It preserved life. It blessed offerings. It sealed covenants. So too must you bless and preserve your own wealth consciousness. If you pour fear upon your money thoughts, you dissolve your riches before they can be formed. But if you sprinkle them with faith, gratitude, and vision, they become savory to the divine mind, and the supply flows. Salt draws out flavor, gratitude draws out supply. Salt cleanses corruption, faith cleanses the idea of poverty. Salt melts ice. Love melts the frozen channels of blocked finances. When you hold money in your hand, do not see mere paper, see the salt of the earth's abundance, the crystallized thought of prosperity, given to you by infinite supply. Bless it. Speak over it. You are my faithful servant, returning to me multiplied, even as the sea returns its waves. For what you bless, blesses you. But beware the waste of salt. As you would not pour salt into the wind, do not pour your substance into fear, base spending, or unworthy causes. Let every coin, every note, every act of giving be seasoned with purpose, joy, and faith. Then the earth itself will conspire to refill your storehouse. If salt loses its savor, it is cast away. If your money thoughts lose their savor of faith, they lose their magnetism. Keep them pure. Keep them seasoned with expectancy. Keep them preserved with the warmth of unwavering trust. Your words are the shaker. Your faith is the salt. Your life is the table where the feast is laid. Season your thoughts with praise. Sprinkle your intentions with joy. Bless your wealth and bless the wealth of others. Soon, your world will be filled with the savory aroma of answered prayers, and the bread of life will never again be stale in your hands. For the secret salt money power is this: to flavor your finances with faith until every coin sparkles like crystal, every note smells of blessing, and every step you take is upon a golden path you did not even see before you seasoned it. Bless your money as you would season food. What you bless, blesses you. Most people pass money from hand to hand without a single thought of gratitude, without the slightest acknowledgement of the mysterious power it holds. They treat it as if it were a lifeless thing, forgetting that money is energy in visible form, a crystallized expression of divine supply. Just as a good cook knows that salt transforms the simplest dish into something delicious, so the wise soul knows that blessing transforms money from a neutral medium into a vibrant servant eager to return multiplied. When you hold a coin or a note in your hand, do not think of its smallness or its scarcity, think of its connection to the infinite ocean of abundance. See it as the seed from which great harvests grow. And just as a farmer blesses the seed before planting, bless your money before you spend or save it. There is a hidden alchemy in blessing. When you bless something, you infuse it with the vibration of love, appreciation, and expectancy. You are acknowledging that it comes from an inexhaustible source, and by that acknowledgement, you open the channel for more to flow. Imagine seasoning a bland meal. Each sprinkle of salt awakens hidden flavors. In the same way, each word of blessing awakens the hidden possibilities in the money you hold. Without seasoning, a meal may fill the body, but leave the spirit unsatisfied. Without blessing, money may meet needs but never multiply. The blessing is what gives it life and magnetism. People often spend money grudgingly, with a sense of loss, as if each coin is a piece of their life being taken away. They hand it over with a sigh or a complaint, and in doing so, they season it with bitterness. Money so seasoned loses its savor, it carries away the flavor of lack and returns in kind. But when you give or spend with joy, with a blessing on your lips, the money carries your goodwill into the world, gathers more of its kind, and finds its way back to you. Blessing your money before it leaves your hand is like sending a dear friend on a journey. You bid it farewell with love, and it comes back with gifts and stories to share. You can practice this blessing in many ways. Before paying a bill, hold it in your hands for a moment and say, I bless this payment and the service it represents. I send this money forth with love, knowing it returns multiplied. Before receiving your wages or income, whisper, I bless this money and thank it for the blessings it brings. May it increase and expand in perfect ways. These words are not empty wishes, they are spiritual seasoning, activating the law of circulation. Just as salt does not create flavor, but reveals what is already there, your blessing does not create abundance. It reveals and amplifies the abundance already present in the spiritual realm. Think of how salt interacts with food. A pinch is enough to awaken flavors hidden within the dish. Too much overwhelms, too little leaves it dull. In the same way, blessing does not need to be a long ritual or complicated ceremony. A few sincere words spoken with faith are enough to awaken the hidden prosperity in every dollar, every coin, every check. The important thing is the spirit behind the words. Bless without doubt, without mockery, without the shadow of disbelief. The blessing must be as natural and confident as a cook seasoning a favorite recipe. It is not only physical money that should be blessed, but also the unseen channels through which money flows. Bless your bank account, your purse, your wallet. Bless the work you do and the hands that pay you. Bless the economy of your community and your country, for when you bless the larger field, your own harvest is enriched. A cook knows that salt must be distributed evenly for the whole dish to taste good. In the same way, your blessings should be generous, not limited to your own possessions. The more you bless the wealth of others, the more the spirit of wealth moves through your life. There is a mystery here that defies ordinary logic. The world teaches that holding tightly to what you have is the way to keep it. But the spiritual law teaches that only what you release with love and blessing returns multiplied. Salt locked in a jar flavors nothing. Money locked in fear circulates nowhere. Blessing your money is a way of keeping it in circulation, allowing it to flow out and back in a rhythm as sure as the tides. Just as salt in the sea is never diminished though the waves break upon the shore, so your supply is never diminished when it flows in the spirit of blessing. Blessing also changes your relationship with money. Instead of seeing it as a taskmaster, you begin to see it as a willing helper, eager to serve your highest good. Money blessed with love becomes a faithful servant, arranging circumstances, opening opportunities, and finding its way into your life in delightful ways. This shift in perception is itself a seasoning, a subtle yet powerful change that makes everything taste richer. Even the smallest coin, when blessed, carries the same spiritual potency as a large sum. Just as a pinch of salt can transform an entire dish, a small act of blessing can transform your entire financial atmosphere. When you find a coin on the street, do not dismiss it. Pick it up, bless it, and thank the universe for the sign of abundance. This act tells the infinite supply that you are ready to recognize and honor every gift, great or small. And in recognizing it, you prepare yourself to receive more. The act of blessing creates a chain reaction. The person who receives your blessed money feels, even unconsciously, the warmth of your intention. That warmth ripples outward, touching others, and eventually circles back to you. Like seasoning shared at a table, the blessing you offer enriches the whole feast of life. You never lose by blessing, you only enhance. In times when money feels tight, blessing becomes even more important. This is the moment when fear tries to take hold, when the temptation is to season your money with bitterness or anxiety. But just as a skilled cook can transform a poor ingredient into a delicious meal with the right seasoning, so you can transform the energy of lack into the energy of abundance by blessing what you have. The blessing lifts your mind from the realm of limitation into the realm of infinite possibility, where new channels of supply can open effortlessly. Blessing your money as you would season food is not about pretending you have more than you do. It is about awakening the spiritual truth that you already live in an abundant universe. Every sprinkle of salt affirms that the meal will be satisfying. Every word of blessing affirms that your needs will be met. And just as the seasoned dish delights the senses, the blessed money delights the soul, drawing to itself companions and multiplying in ways you cannot foresee. Gratitude draws out abundance just as salt draws out flavor. There is a hidden current of wealth that flows all around you, invisible to the eyes yet responsive to the heart. Most people move through life tasting only the surface of their circumstances, unaware that infinite blessings lie just beneath. Gratitude is the seasoning that releases them, the spiritual catalyst that calls forth the richness of life. When you give thanks for what you have, you awaken the dormant abundance hidden in plain sight, just as salt awakens flavors that were always present in the food but unnoticed. Without gratitude, blessings sit locked and silent, their beauty concealed. With gratitude, they open like a flower in the sun, releasing fragrance and sweetness into every corner of your life. The mind that complains focuses on what is missing, and by doing so strengthens the appearance of lack. The mind that is grateful focuses on what is present and multiplies it by recognition. When you are grateful for the smallest coin, the universe hears you saying, "I am ready for more." Gratitude is not just polite acknowledgement, it is a declaration of alignment with the laws of increase. It is the key that unlocks the storehouse of the divine. Just as salt draws the hidden juices from a vegetable, making it tender and flavorful, gratitude draws forth hidden opportunities, softens hardened situations, and releases the flow of prosperity where there once seemed to be none. Every person has experienced the difference between food prepared with care and food served without attention. Gratitude is the care you give to the blessings in your life. It transforms them from mere survival into joy-filled nourishment for the spirit. When you wake in the morning and give thanks for the day ahead, you season your path with expectation, and the hours bring with them unexpected gifts. When you give thanks for the roof over your head, even if it is humble, you open the way for a more beautiful home to appear. When you give thanks for the money in your pocket, however small, you open the channel for greater supply to pour in. It is important to understand that gratitude works not only for what you already see, but also for what is yet unseen. To give thanks for blessings not yet visible is to place the seasoning in the pot before the meal is cooked. You trust that it will bring forth the flavor at the appointed time. When you give thanks in advance, you declare your faith that the abundance you need is already on its way. You do not wait to see the evidence before feeling the gratitude. You feel it now, and the evidence must follow. Gratitude in advance is the salt of faith. It seasons the future before it arrives. There are those who say, "I will be grateful when my circumstances improve." But the law of life works in reverse. Your circumstances improve when you are grateful now. The flavor comes forth after the seasoning is added, not before. To withhold gratitude until you see more is like refusing to add salt to food until you taste flavor. It will never come. You must bless what you have, however little, and give thanks for what is promised, however distant it seems. This is the surest way to turn little into much. Gratitude has the power to transform even the bitter into sweetness. Just as salt can mellow the harshness in certain foods, gratitude can soften the edges of hardship and reveal unexpected good within it. A difficult job can teach patience. A tight budget can inspire creativity. A closed door can redirect you to a better opportunity. Gratitude does not deny the challenge. It changes your relationship with it, allowing the hidden good to emerge. This is why those who practice gratitude often appear blessed beyond their means. They have learned to draw forth the richness of life from every circumstance. Your words are the spoon that stirs the seasoning into the meal. Speak gratitude often, and not only for the grand events but for the smallest details. Be grateful for the breath in your lungs, for the sunlight on your face, for the stranger's smile, for the quiet moments that pass unnoticed by others. Every word of thanks seasons your consciousness with abundance. You are training your mind to look for the good, and what you look for you will surely find. In time, your life will be so filled with the awareness of blessings that even in the lean seasons, you will taste the richness of life. Gratitude is also magnetic. When you are genuinely thankful for what you have, you radiate an energy that attracts more of the same. People are drawn to those who appreciate them. And so is money. So are opportunities. So is every form of good. The universe responds to appreciation the way the earth responds to rain. It becomes fertile and fruitful. Just as salt, when properly used, enhances the flavor of every ingredient in a dish, gratitude enhances every aspect of your life. Relationships deepen, work becomes more rewarding, Health improves, and the sense of well-being increases. Practice gratitude deliberately. Set aside moments in your day to name aloud the things you are thankful for. Keep a notebook of blessings and read it often. Bless your meals before you eat. Bless your income before you spend. Bless your home before you enter. With each blessing, you are seasoning your life with the flavor of abundance. Even when challenges arise, make it a habit to find one thing in them to give thanks for. This does not mean you must approve of every situation, but that you recognize some element of good is working through it. As you cultivate this habit, you will find that gratitude becomes as natural as breathing. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes, until every moment is touched with appreciation. You will no longer need to search for blessings. They will present themselves to you, drawn by the fragrance of your gratitude. You will begin to live in a constant feast, where even the simplest moments taste rich and satisfying. Gratitude will have drawn out the abundance that was always there, just waiting to be seasoned by your awareness. Faith preserves wealth consciousness as salt preserves life. In the same way salt was once prized for its ability to keep food fresh, pure, and nourishing over long periods, faith keeps the awareness of abundance alive and unspoiled in the mind. Without faith, the consciousness of prosperity can decay under the influence of fear, doubt, and discouragement. A person may catch a glimpse of their supply in the spiritual realm. They may even begin to experience it in the physical. But if they allow the corrosive thoughts of lack to seep in, their wealth consciousness loses its potency. Faith acts as a spiritual preservative, keeping the truth of infinite supply intact until it has fully manifested in form. Salt has the power to hold back decay because it changes the environment, making it impossible for the forces of corruption to grow. In the same way, faith changes the atmosphere of your mind and spirit, creating a field where fear cannot take root. When you believe without wavering that the universe is abundant, that your needs are met, and that supply flows freely toward you, you create an inner climate where poverty thoughts cannot survive. The moment doubt tries to creep in, faith drives it out, just as salt drives away the elements that spoil. Faith maintains the freshness of your vision, so even in the midst of delays or obstacles, the picture of your prosperity remains clear and vibrant. Life offers countless opportunities for faith to be tested. Bills arrive before the payment does, opportunities seem to vanish, or the world announces scarcity in every headline. These are the moments when faith must act like salt, holding your consciousness steady, uncorrupted by appearances. Without this preserving element, your mental storehouse can be spoiled by worry, and what was once a rich, fertile vision can wither into disbelief. But when faith is present, it quietly does its work beneath the surface, protecting the idea of abundance from the erosion of fear. Faith does not require proof to preserve. It preserves by its very nature, just as salt continues to protect food whether you watch it or not. Faith continues to guard your wealth consciousness, even when you are not actively thinking about it. The key is to season your thoughts with faith from the start. If you begin a new venture, infuse it with faith immediately. If you take on a financial goal, cover it with the seasoning of faith before any doubt can touch it. The longer an idea is steeped in faith, the more impervious it becomes to the spoilage of fear. Preserving wealth consciousness through faith also means refusing to rehearse the language of lack. Each time you speak of shortage, you invite decay into your financial atmosphere. Salt does not mingle with corruption, it changes it or prevents it entirely. Faith works the same way. It refuses to mix with fear. If a fearful thought appears, meet it with a declaration of abundance. Say to yourself, my supply is sure. My good cannot be taken from me. The channels of prosperity are open now. These words are the granules of salt that keep the vision fresh. Salt does not boast of its work, yet without it, the feast would soon turn to waste. Faith, too, works quietly but powerfully. It may seem invisible, but it is the very force that keeps your wealth consciousness alive long enough for manifestation to occur. Without it, the rich thoughts you hold can sour before they bear fruit. With it, those same thoughts remain fresh, until the perfect season for their harvest arrives. This is why faith is not merely helpful in the creation of abundance. It is essential. In ancient times, salt was so valuable that it was used as currency. Soldiers were sometimes paid in salt, for it was recognized as a keeper of life. Faith is the currency of the spiritual realm. You use it to hold your claim on the riches of the universe, until they are fully yours in the material. You do not spend it in fear, you store it in trust, knowing it is preserving the unseen supply that will arrive in visible form. When you operate in faith, you are not troubled by the appearance of delay, for you know that your good is safe, guarded, and protected until the perfect moment. The preservation power of faith also works through gratitude and praise. When you thank the universe in advance for the wealth you desire, you are sealing it against the erosion of doubt. When you praise the abundance you see in others, you are affirming that the same abundance is preserved for you. Faith sees the invisible, accepts it as real, and holds it steady until the outer world catches up. It does not hurry, it does not worry, it simply keeps the treasure safe. Even in times of great change or apparent loss, faith holds the essence of your supply untouched. Just as salt can keep food edible in harsh conditions, faith can keep your prosperity consciousness alive in the most challenging seasons. The world around you may seem to be shifting, but within, the truth remains preserved. You live in an abundant universe, and your portion cannot be taken from you. This inner certainty acts like a sealed jar around your good, keeping it fresh until it is time to open and enjoy it. Faith also preserves clarity. When you walk in faith, your mind is not clouded by panic, so you can see opportunities as they appear. Fear blinds, but faith sharpens vision. In this way, faith not only keeps your wealth consciousness intact, it positions you to recognize and receive the very channels through which your supply will come. You become like a wise steward of a storehouse, calmly protecting and preparing for the moment when the goods will be distributed. Holding faith is not about ignoring reality, but about holding a higher reality steady until it becomes the reality everyone can see. You acknowledge what is, but you believe in what is promised. Just as salt protects the food from what would spoil it, faith protects your mind from what would corrupt it. You feed your faith daily with affirmations, prayer, and the evidence of good you see around you. You remind yourself that the preservation process is invisible but unfailing. When faith becomes your constant companion, you find that wealth consciousness is no longer fragile. It is strong, steady, and resilient, unaffected by the passing storms of life. Opportunities may ebb and flow, markets may rise and fall, but your inner awareness of supply remains whole. You know that the seed of abundance within you is safe, and in due season, it will bring forth a harvest untouched by the corruption of fear or the decay of doubt. Faith has kept it fresh, alive, and ready to manifest in its fullness. Your words are the shaker. Season every thought with praise and expectancy. Just as salt is useless if it remains trapped inside the shaker, the power of praise and expectancy is wasted if it is never spoken into the atmosphere of your life. Words are not merely sounds. They are the containers of your belief, the vehicles by which your inner faith and gratitude travel into the outer world. When you speak words of praise, you are sprinkling spiritual seasoning over your thoughts, actions, and circumstances, awakening the hidden good within them. When you speak words of expectancy, you are declaring that you believe something wonderful is already on its way, and the universe bends to meet that declaration. Without the shaker, the salt stays in place and never fulfills its purpose. Without your words, the richness of your thoughts remains locked inside, unable to flavor the life you are creating. Every thought you hold has a certain energy, but it is the spoken word that activates it, just as a shaker releases salt to flavor the dish. Praise elevates your thoughts beyond the realm of the ordinary, bathing them in a frequency that attracts more to praise. Expectancy charges your thoughts with life, magnetizing them toward the fulfillment of your desires. Together, praise and expectancy turn simple ideas into powerful seeds, ready to grow into visible blessings. When you choose your words with care, you are in effect seasoning the very soil of your life so that every seed planted there has the best possible chance to thrive. Words of praise have a unique energy. When you praise what is good in your life, you magnify it. If you praise the smallest blessing, you call forth more of its kind. Praise is a spiritual acknowledgement that you recognize the source of your good, and that you trust that source to continue its flow. It is the act of looking at what you have and declaring, "This is good, and more is coming." When you praise, you send a signal to the invisible realm that you are ready for increase. Just as a skilled cook seasons each bite to perfection, the one who praises seasons each moment with the flavor of gratitude and delight, drawing forth the hidden abundance that might otherwise remain dormant. Expectancy, on the other hand, works like an invisible invitation. It does not wait to see evidence before it believes. It believes so strongly that it begins to prepare the way for the evidence to arrive. If praise acknowledges the good you have, expectancy welcomes the good you know is on its way. Expectancy is like shaking salt over an uncooked meal, confident that the heat will bring forth the flavor. You speak words as if your blessing were already in your hands, knowing that the act of speaking has already set unseen forces into motion. To season every thought with praise and expectancy means to be vigilant about the language you use, both aloud and in the privacy of your mind. Just as too much or too little seasoning can affect the taste of food, careless words can dull or even spoil the flavor of your life's creation. Negative words are like a shaker filled with bitterness. They taint the whole dish. A single statement of fear or complaint can begin to erode the rich seasoning of faith if it is left unchecked. This is why it is vital to speak praise and expectancy consistently, especially in moments when circumstances seem uncooperative. Speaking words of praise in times of plenty is easy, but speaking them in times of lack is the true art of the spiritual shaker. When you praise in lean times, you are adding flavor to the very situations that appear bland or bitter. You are calling forth the sweetness that may be hidden deep beneath the surface. When you speak with expectancy during seasons of waiting, you are preparing a place at the table for the blessings that are still traveling toward you. Just as a cook trusts the salt to do its work even before the food is finished, you must trust your words to work even before you see results. Your words can also season the lives of others. When you speak praise over another person's success, you are not diminishing your own supply. You are increasing it. Praise spoken into someone else's life is like seasoning shared at a feast. It enhances the experience for everyone. Expectancy spoken over another person's dreams is a way of lending your faith to their vision. When you do this,